There we go. All right, we are live. NASCAR Cup Series race in action on NASCAR Heat 4 on the channel today. The final race of the round of 8 in the playoffs as we go to Phoenix Raceway. About to qualify here for today's event. We've got the steering wheel in hand for this one, our second of 2 races on this doubleheader Saturday. A little bit later of a start time. Wanted to start this thing at 4 o'clock, and then I completely forgot about the NASCAR Pro Invitational race at North Wilkesboro. So I'm sure you guys were watching that and or were looking forward to that, as was I. I was thinking it was yesterday for some reason, so waited till that was done. We are here now, so let's get into this qualifying action. Not sure how we're going to do in today's race. We did win the first Phoenix race earlier this season. We're probably going to have to fight for this one, of course, coming off of a 10 go. Qualifying lap is going to start right now. We'll go all the way down to the apron through the dog leg, trying to cut the track as much as possible into turn number 1. Rolled into the corner pretty nicely. Got a looser setup on the car. It's driving nice though, at least through this qualifying lap. Even cutting turns 3 and 4 all the way down, real low on the apron at the line. 26.316, 13th will be the position in which we will qualify in for today's race. Denny Hamlin on the pole. Of course, he just won the North Wilkesboro Pro Invitational race a few minutes ago. Clint Boyer will start second. We got Kyle Busch in third. Busch was the first driver in by 30 points coming into today's race over Brad Keselowski. Quite a big advantage, but of course only one more spot is open to make it into the playoffs. Or I should say into the championship race. In the playoffs, that'll be tomorrow. Looks like we're starting 12th instead of 13th. We got somebody going to the rear of the field. So looks like Tyler Reddick is going to start at the rear of the field. So is Daniel Suarez. So, all right, here we go. Denny Hamlin, Eric Jones, and Ryan Blaney, the 3 drivers locked into the playoffs. Who will be the 4th and final driver to lock themselves in? Hamlin, Jones, both won. We locked ourselves in, driving as Blaney on points, and the green flag is in the air. We are underway at Phoenix Raceway here today. 75 laps in the opening stage of the race. Already 3 wide up through the middle. We got Logano, Chase Elliott around us, still sandwiched 3 wide. Trying not to make contact with anyone. We did rub up against the side of the 88 of Bowman slightly there through turns 1 and 2. Still stuck on the outside of the track now, trying to get to the inside right in front of Ryan Newman. And to the inside now of Jimmy Johnson. Kyle Busch leads lap 1 from 3rd to 1st. He made a great move into turns 1 and 2 to get to the inside and take the lead. And now Denny Hamlin trying to go right back at him. If Kyle Busch can get the win today, Newman with a nice little shove. Up the track we go. Kind of made contact with the 48er Johnson, and now here comes Landon Castle. A little contact with Castle. He gets loose in the middle of turns 3 and 4. Good old-fashioned short track racing here right in the very beginning of this one. So we'll get right back around Castle. Joe Gibbs Racing has a lot of strong cars for this race here today, that is for sure. Hamlin has a lot of pressure on Kyle Busch, and Clint Boyer is right there as well. Busch, of course, a win would lock him in. Again, he's got a 30-point lead on the cut line. He's the only driver above the cut line that isn't locked in. We only have one more spot open for the Championship 4. And although he's looking that good on points, if one of the other 4 drivers below the cut line win this race, Kyle Busch will not be in the Championship 4 tomorrow afternoon. Side by side with Jimmy Johnson off of turn 4. We're going to try to get him into turn 1 now for 16th. We're starting 12th. All we did was go backwards right off the start. So we'll try to get back through the field as soon as we possibly can. Going to be a workout today, second of 2 races on this doubleheader in which we are using the steering wheel, but this one with being a short track race, definitely going to wear us out by the finish. It's going to fly by though, only 312 laps, 312 miles in this one. Takes roughly 26 seconds or so to get around Phoenix International, well, formerly known as Phoenix International Raceway, then formerly known as ISM Raceway, and now right back to Phoenix Raceway. Already 6 laps in. Very tough track to pass. This is the final race of the 750 horsepower regular package here. Final short track race of the season. Good pass on not only Paul Menard, but we're going to get around Ryan Newman as well that lap. So that'll move us up to 14th as we try to run down Matt DiBenedetto at 13th. DiBenedetto qualified 5th. He quickly fell back off the initial start of this race as well, as we try to run him down now. As far as the fuel looks, we should be able to make it on fuel to the end of this opening stage of the race. Main factor is going to be the tires. Can we make the tires last all the way to the end of the stage? Again, we're not racing for stage points. We locked ourselves in on points to the championship after that race at Texas. Strictly just going for a race win, and even that wouldn't do much for us, because the winner of the championship at Homestead tomorrow is just going to be the top finisher of the 4 drivers that are in the championship 4. We just got around Matt DiBenedetto, William Byron kind of coming up from behind, and Byron's trying to pass us now for 13th after we just nabbed the position away. Going into turn 1 a little hot, Byron to our inside. So we try to close the gap on Kyle Larson as well. Byron's still there. Trying to beat him to the inside into turn 3, and we will. Good move. Byron thought about going up the middle. Now a little bump and rub on Kevin Harvick. How sideways the car is on the entrance to these corners as we just try to get the car to whip down to the inside as quick as we possibly can. So we try to crack the top 10 for the first time in the early going here. Now we're looking to the inside of Keselowski. Can't quite stay there yet. Taking a peek now through the dog leg. And now into turn number 1. We're going to pass him. William Byron has just followed us right on through all these cars we have been trying to get around. And now Byron's going to get to the inside of us off in turn 2 as well. But we beat him back to the accelerator just enough to keep our full car in front of him before we get into turn 3. Byron seems to get through the center of the corner a lot better than we do, and that's why he's able to stick with us. William Byron definitely looks fast in the early going of this race here today. So now we close in on Kurt Busch in the 1. To the inside on Kurt Busch. Going to complete the pass in 1 corner. Don't see that too much here at Phoenix, but we're going to make the pass and we're up to 9th. Usually at least takes a couple corners to get around a driver, and now William Byron's going to get around not Clint Boyer, but Kurt Busch as well right behind us. So Byron moves up to 10th pretty easily through turns 1 and 2 as well. Kyle Busch has led every lap at the beginning of this race. Definitely pulled away from Boyer. Hard to tell from back here if he's actually pulled away from Denny Hamlin also or not. Hamlin was putting pressure on him for the first couple laps after Kyle Busch had nabbed the race lead away on the opening lap. Because remember, Hamlin qualified on the pole, and Kyle Busch qualified 3rd. Kyle Busch 3 wide into turn 1. Got it away. Of course, caution's back on as usual. This is a regular Cup Series season. Tough to tell where other playoff drivers are running right now. because there is none around us. We do see Alex Bowman up there in the 6th spot. Bowman was below the cut line by quite a bit coming into this race. He is in a must-win scenario. Obviously, he has ran pretty well here at Phoenix in the past. Maybe he can get the job done by the end of the day. Closing in on Chase Elliott, the 9, driving it in deep into turns 3 and 4. Elliott beats us back to the gas and keeps in front of us, at least for the time being. Not much of a losing drought on the season, but if we go through this entire round of 8 without winning a race, if we don't win this race at Phoenix here today, that's not going to be the best momentum rolling into that championship race. Especially if, say, our other 3 competitors that we're facing would have won each of the 3 races, and we would have been the only driver to advance ourselves on points into Homestead. But regardless of the fact we made it there, pretty much just racing for fun today, at least for our sake. A lot of lap traffic up ahead. Mixing in with the lap cars. We just ran our fastest lap in the early going here. 26.407 that last lap. So get around our first lap car of Parker Kligerman in the 96. Got a good run off of turn 2 to the inside of Logano now. Into turn 3. Gonna make the pass. Gonna sneak to the inside of BJ Alex Bowman in 6th, not too far ahead of us, and you got Martin Truex Jr. in 5th and Eric Jones in 4th. Of course, Martin Truex Jr., one of the other Joe Gibbs Racing drivers. Remember, all 4 of them made it to the round of 8, but because we locked ourselves in on points, only 3 of them at max can make it into Homestead. And of course, with Kyle Busch leading right now, it puts a lot of pressure on Martin Truex Jr. to get into the championship race. He's trying to get around Eric Jones for 4th right now. He has been for a little bit. Lap car's not helping him out. Eric Jones just getting through the lap traffic a little bit better than Truex, but we're going to close the gap on both of them. Up ahead. So we got about a 3 or 4 car battle for 4th, because Alex Bowman's still just over a half second behind us. A little loose. Drove it into turns 3 and 4, maybe a little too deep that time. It's all right to get down on the apron, but you can see there's still a little bit of banking on the apron in turns 3 and 4, but and it's a lot flatter down there, and that's when you could typically get ridiculously loose and spin out. So we'll try not to cut the corner quite that deep. Almost got in the side of Eric Jones. Boyer went around the outside to get around David Reagan. We're not going to do that. We're going to go around the inside now, 3 wide. Is Eric Jones, Blaney trying to split Tyler Reddick. Still can't quite clear Jones. We'll try to get him into turn 3, now to the inside of Boyer as well for 3rd. Can't quite clear Clint yet, and now we do before we get into turn 1. So we're already up to 3rd, but we are about 5.5 seconds back of Kyle Busch, who hasn't really pulled away from Hamlin either. Hamlin's basically followed him right through the lap traffic this entire time. About a half second back of the lead. Of course, now all 5 drivers that are in the top 5 are all playoff drivers, 4 of which are the Joe Gibbs Racing drivers. And we're the only one that isn't. Those Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas came to race today. You almost wonder if Denny Hamlin does have a faster car than Kyle Busch, but he just can't pass him because he was in the clean air. And then on top of that, Kyle Busch is probably getting through the lap traffic better since they got into the lap cars. Already less than 50 laps to go in this opening stage of the race. Stages in 1 and 2 are pretty short here at Phoenix, 75 laps. A typical mile and a half is 80 to 85 laps for a stage, so 75 on a 1-mile racetrack at Phoenix is pretty short, despite it being a 312 lap race. So yeah, this first half of the race, these first two stages are probably going to fly by today. Kyle Busch looking for a lot of stage points though, in case it does have to come down to points. Again, the next closest driver to Kyle Busch on points is Brad Keselowski, who is not in the top 5, and he was 30 points back coming into this one. Now about 3 seconds off the lead. Denny Hamlin going for the lead side by side off of turn 2 with Kyle Busch. Hamlin tries to lead his first lap of the race. I'm not sure who's going to lead at the line. They're still side by side off the exit of turn 4 now. At the stripe, it's going to be Kyle, I think it was Hamlin. They swapped it right after the start-finish line, I believe. I believe Denny Hamlin just led his first lap of the race. So that was the first lap that Kyle Busch has not led today. At the line that last time. It was halfway through stage 1 already. They are still side by side, and they are still caught right behind a couple lap cars as we close the gap. Just nowhere to go for Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin. Kind of missed turn 1 a little bit, a little higher entry into the corner. Big run from the center off though, running that little bit higher of a lane. Down to the bottom, 3 wide, taking it into turn 3 for second on Denny Hamlin, now going down for the lead. On Kyle Busch, Jimmy Johnson is the lap car stuck in the middle. Busch back to the lead again. Wow, Hamlin still side by side for second. Busch caught behind Ty Dillon, down to the inside. 3 wide for the lead. So we try to split the lap car. Hamlin's going to go to the inside right behind us. Going to pull up, barely able to clear the 13 and the 18 off of turn 2. Blaney going to try to lead his first lap of the race at the line this time. He will on lap 33 here at Phoenix. Took a little bit of time, but we're going to get there. Now it's just a matter of trying to conserve our tires to the end of the stage. We're a little less than halfway through the stage. That right front tire is already burnt up quite a bit, but now we get a caution for the first time today. Alright, so caution is out for the first time today. We got Bowman, Byron, Logano, Larson all hitting pit road. Daniel Hemrick. That caution's going to help us. We only led 1 lap before the caution came out with 280 to go. We're going to hit pit road for 4 fresh tires. You know what? No, we're going to stay out of the pits here. We'll stay out of the pits. We'll keep the track position. It was a tough call. But I think that caution's going to help us get a lot closer to the end of the stage. We'll have 4 caution laps ran, and now the green flag is back in the air again. But we do have 4 drivers on fresher tires a little bit deeper in the field. How long will it take for them to get towards the front on this very difficult track to pass on? Green flag back in the air, and here we go at Phoenix after the first caution of the race. So we got Ryan Blaney out in front of the field. We had a really solid restart, got through the shifts well, got through turns 1 and 2 pretty well, and now 3 and 4 as we get back up to speed to the stripe. 38 laps to go now in stage 1. But get onto a big enough lead, we can really start coasting it to save that right front tire. We're going to honestly start doing that now while we're not in lap traffic and just hope for the best. Just in case. Again, that caution's going to help us out. Really didn't want to give up the track position though. Carmel Max, welcome. Oh man, got really tight off the exit of turn 4. Had to get out of the gas. Thought it was going to end up in the wall. Welcome to the race at Phoenix here today. Mark Truex Jr. is driven up to 3rd on the restart, and Kyle Busch goes from 2nd back to 4th on the initial restart. Now battling for 3rd with Truex, and boy, oh boy, Kyle Larson is coming through the field. He was the first driver on 4 fresh tires, and he is already back up to 5th. Now up to 4th. He is gaining quick, and he is probably going to catch us in no time once he gets up to 2nd. I did not think that those drivers on 4 fresh tires are going to get through the field that quick. William Byron, he's got a fast car. He's in the top 5 now. Another driver on fresher tires. That's going to hurt guys that need stage points that are in the playoff hunt, trying to make it into Homestead for the championship tomorrow. Kyle Larson up to second, Byron up to third, right behind him. Brad Keselowski, one of the drivers on 4 fresh tires also. He needs points on Kyle Busch. That is a huge difference maker that he took tires and Kyle Busch did not. Maybe he can outscore him by quite a bit of stage points in the opening stage, and maybe, you never know, Keselowski could catch him in the point standings. He was 30 behind him coming into today, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Of course, Kyle Busch definitely has a top 3 competing car today, but Keselowski can gain a lot of stage points on him and play the track position game and play the pit strategy game. Maybe he's got a shot. How was Michigan? Well, yeah, we ended up getting the win at Michigan earlier today. Again, that was a pretty dominating race on the toughest season. Really didn't have many incidents that we had almost wrecked in. There was a couple crashes that we had seen, but they were far enough ahead of us. We had plenty of time to react and plenty of room to miss those accidents as well to the inside or outside of the track, wherever they unfolded throughout the course of the race. It was a good battle for the first 30 laps before we had taken the lead, but once we did, we were good to go. This race at Phoenix today, though, let me tell you, I think this is going to be a tough one to win. We took the lead at lap 33, and as soon as we took the lead, the caution came out for the first time today. We've got 31 laps to go in the stage. We've only got just over a 2-second lead. Larson and Byron, Keselowski and Logano all on 4 fresh tires. We're on older tires, but we're maintaining that gap, and a lot of it has to do with the clean air right now. We'll have to see when we get into the lap traffic how that's going to work out. These drivers have gotten through the lap traffic pretty well for the most part. At the very beginning of the race, they almost ended up in the wall again off of turn 4. Kept the hammer down, though. Wasn't willing to get out of the gas there. Byron up to second now, passing Larson last lap, and William Byron within 2 seconds of the lead. He is coming. Remember, he had passed us earlier on in the race when we were on equal tires, fighting into the top 10, so Byron's definitely got a fast car. Maybe not one to compete for the win per se, unless he has the track position late. But the tire game and the tire strategy is really working out for him right now. Now he's cut that lead under 2 seconds. We're about to hit our first lap car of the run of Ryan Truex off of turn 4. We do have one driver who is currently out of the race right now. Not sure exactly who that is. You can't see on pit road because their pit box is right in the middle of the corner. Actually, it's Chase Elliott. I did see him. So Chase Elliott's out of the race already. He was eliminated in the last round of the playoffs, though, so it's a non-factor as far as championship implications go for the 5 drivers battling for that last spot today. So Byron cut the lead just under 2 seconds. He is starting to fall back now. A little contact with Matt Tifft as Tifft pulled down right in front of us. We got 33% left on the right front and 27 laps to go. We might be burning that right front up a little bit more. Problem is, it's really hard to save it on a short track because it's not like you could just back the corners up a ton. You're still having to use the brakes quite a bit. With as flat of a track as it is too, you're just going to go hard on that right front regardless. We're going to try our best to not turn the wheel as much while trying to maintain this gap. Again, the stage win doesn't necessarily matter. We're just trying to win the stage for track position purposes for later in the race. We're already locked into the championship on points after Texas, so just trying to carry more momentum into the championship race. It's been a few races since we have won. We have not won since the Kansas playoff race, which was the 6th race of the playoffs. We're on race 9, and caution is out again. So caution is out for the 2nd time. Kurt Busch went for a spin going into turn 1. Wasn't quite into turn 1 yet. In fact, he was just coming out of the dog leg. So we got more drivers hitting pit road, a lot more this time. Everybody from 10th on back looks like they're going to pit. Hamlin, Kyle Busch, Truex, Eric Jones, Boyer, Suarez, Priest, Almirola, Kurt Busch, who just got involved in that accident, Paul Menard, Ty Dillon, Ryan Newman. Jimmy Johnson will get the free pass in 22nd. It looks like the top 9 are going to stay out of the pits. This is going to be an interesting finish to the end of stage 1. A lot of hungry drivers looking for stage points here, and we're going to stay out, keep the track position again. It worked the first time, but now everybody from 10th on back on pit road. They'll have 4 fresh tires. Will we have enough laps to hang on? Green flag in the air. 22 laps to go in stage 1. And this is going to be a fight to the finish here. Good restart for William Byron on the outside. Quickly jumped down to 2nd. So we've had 2 cautions in this opening stage. Wow, look at Byron go. Heck of a restart. He is right there with 21 laps left now. Going into turn 1, William Byron not wanting to give much room. Alex Bowman back there as well in a must-win scenario. He's in 3rd right behind Byron. And we will be racing hard for the stage 1 victory. Kyle Busch already up to 5th. He's on fresh tires too. We're going to do what it takes. We got 20 to go. We've only been out in the lead for 2 laps, and you already got guys on fresher tires from 5th on back. I just don't see us being able to hold on. Byron about got to the back bumper that time going into turn 1. We beat him back to the gas off the exit though and gapped him a little bit now down the backstretch. Into 3. Busch can't quite get around Logano yet. If Joey keeps holding him back, might have a shot. I'm hoping we can catch lap traffic somewhat soon. I just don't think that's going to be a possibility. We'll catch him before the end of the stage, but I don't think we're going to catch him soon enough to make it a factor as far as us trying to stay in the lead. Kyle Busch goes around the outside to pass Alex Bowman. Made that look easy, and now Busch is up to 3rd. Byron might be a tough guy to pass. He was tough for us to pass early on, but he is directly behind him now through 3 and 4. Byron tries to hold on to 2nd. Busch needs points. Last driver in. Coming into this one, he's got a shot to win stage 1. He is up to 2nd. Kyle Busch has just passed William Byron going into turn 1. And he is now only a couple car lengths back of us for the race lead. And we might be a sitting duck here real soon. We're going to do our best to try and block every line possible. We saw him pass Bowman around the outside. Who's to say he won't pass us around the outside? 17 laps left to do it, though. Oh, wow, he washed up the racetrack. Easy pass for Kyle Busch to the lead off of turn 2. Kyle Busch trying to win stage 1 at Phoenix. Got it into turn 3 pretty nicely, but he's just got way fresher tires by about 45 laps, 50 laps or so. It's just going to be too much for us to overcome right now. And you got Eric Jones, Denny Hamlin on fresher tires back in 3rd and 4th. Those are our other 2 competitors. The top 4 you're seeing ran right now on the leaderboard are very possibly going to be as we go all the way down to the apron now. 15 laps to go in stage 1. Nice big dive. Again, that right front's wearing out quite a bit right now, but we might make it to the end of this stage. We're looking all right. And don't count us out to win the stage yet, because Kyle Busch, although he's pulling away, again, how is he going to get through the lap traffic here by the end of the stage? We need this to play out green, though, because if we get a caution, I don't think we're going to be able to make it. Denny Hamlin right behind us now. He's caught up to us. He passed Eric Jones a couple laps ago for 3rd, and now he's trying to get around us for 2nd. Driving it in deep and trying to get it to stick to the inside. We'll make Denny try to pass us around the top, which he very well can, and he is there. Hamlin with a run off of turn 2 to the outside into turn 3. Eric Jones sitting right behind us, waiting to make a move. Denny Hamlin up to second. He's going to clear us to the line. Will Hamlin have enough time to maybe run down Kyle Busch and spoil his chances of winning stage 1? Not impossible. Up the hill we go off of turn number 2, but barely able to hold off Eric Jones. Clint Boyer, again, he's got a strong car today. He qualified outside pole in second. He's been in the top 5 quite a bit, sitting back in 5th, right behind Eric Jones. We've got 11 to go. Kyle Busch is about a lap or 2 away from hitting lap traffic. To the end of this stage, we'll have 10 laps to go at the line this time. Again, thanks for everybody tuning in. Towards the end of stage 1, we're currently in 3rd with 10 laps to go. 3 seconds off the race lead. Busch has just hit lap traffic here at the end of the stage. Again, we've had a total of 2 cautions in this opening stage of the race. That right front tire is going to be close to making it to the end on our sake as well. Busch slowing up a little bit. We've caught up a half second in the last 2 laps now. Not getting around the lap car as well. Denny Hamlin, though, obviously being about a second in front of us, he might have a better shot to get up to him. We're kind of maintaining our ground, if not pulling away from Eric Jones a little bit back and forth behind us. We are pushing this car hard, but again, got to be careful. Right front tire percentage down to 10% at the line this time. We've got 8 to go. It's going to be a good battle to the end of this stage. It's been a pretty good race so far. Hamlin caught behind Brendan Gaughan now to the inside for second off of turn number 2. We got it back. Now can we run down Kyle Busch for the stage win? Hamlin still caught behind the lap cars. Big gap, though, before Kyle Busch catches another lap car. We've got 7 to go. We still got to catch Jamie McMurray here into the next corner. Little contact with McMurray, trying to get around him. The car's just really tight. How worn out that right front is. Maybe it's a good thing we've got the looser setup, because it's getting tight on us here on the later run. 6 to go. It's going to be close in that right front again, but I think we can make it. Five to go at the line this time. Busch has caught another lap car. We are under 2 seconds behind him, so we're slightly gaining ground. But are we gaining enough ground quick enough? That is going to be the big question. Busch has just gotten around Jimmy Johnson pretty easily. He'll probably catch the next 2 lap cars just ahead of him, though. 2.5 off the lead. Hopefully we don't waste time trying to get around Jimmy. Four to go. It is a nail biter on that right front. Really trying to back off the corners a little more. When we do that, though, we're not gaining ground on Kyle Busch. Gaining a little bit of ground still, though. He's caught to the outside of both Ryan Truex and David Reagan, down to the apron. Cutting the track, we've got 3 more laps to go. Almost into the side of the 38. We are coming. Only 3% tire wear left on the right front. I don't think we're going to survive. 2 laps to go at the line. We've got another 3 lap cars right in front of Kyle Busch. It is going to be close, trying to really roll out of the gas more in the corners, even though we have to get on the brakes still. Busch caught behind Joey Gase to the inside. to the lead going into turn 3. White flag in the air this time by. 1 lap to go in stage 1. Blaney back out in front again. Just past Matt Tipped. Here comes Busch. A block to the line. Will the right front tire make it all the way back around for one more lap? On older tires, trying to survive in lap traffic. Up the hill we go. Here comes Kyle Busch. Will he use the bumper into 3 and 4? And will the right front tire make it this final corner? Down to 1%. It's barely going to survive. Ryan Blaney wins stage 1 at Phoenix. Busch right on the back bumper at the line. A great finish to the end of stage number 1, and the right front barely survived all the way through stage 1. Wow. I was getting nervous there the last couple laps. I didn't think we were going to make it. We did, though. Gonna save the damage repair. Not gonna repair any damage. 4 fresh tires, full tank of fuel for sure, though. Won the race off of pit road as well, so here we go. Green flag in the air. And stage number 2 is underway. So we know fuel's not going to be a factor for us today. It's going to be on whether or not, or I should say how far those tires can make it over the course of these runs. It's going to be the even bigger question. Look at William Byron taking it 3 wide to the inside up there as we wash up the track off of turn 4. Eric Jones beat us back to the line, and Jones leads the opening lap of stage number 2. And here comes William Byron, looking for career win number 1 to the inside of Eric Jones. He is almost there. We are losing a lot of spots on this restart. Ryan Preece into the top 10 in 7th. Great short track racer himself, Logano, up here now battling with Eric Jones. Of course, Logano won the Phoenix spring race earlier this season in the actual Cup Series. Ryan Preece going to get there now to our inside. Russ Castro, thanks for joining. Hopefully you saw that great stage 1, and hopefully we got more great racing action to come throughout the course of this race today. We are going backwards on this restart, trying to tuck to the inside in between Almirola and Ty Dillon. We did. So we're in 10th. But man, we just got freight trained as we were stuck on the outside. We got a lot of fast cars ahead of us too. And a lot of newcomers here. Master Dre. Thanks for joining. Here comes Boyer now to the inside. Barely going to block him off through the dog leg. Boyer keeps peeking to the inside. Can't make the move. Kyle Busch, though, must have had a terrible pit stop because he is outside the top 10 right now. Either a terrible pit stop or a terrible restart, one or the other. Kyle Busch did get 9 stage points, though. Definitely outscored Keselowski there. He came in 30 points above him on the cut line, so he's looking good. Again, it's just going to be who can maybe contend for a win. And really the only 2 drivers below the cut line that are contending for a win, at least right now, are Martin Truex Jr. He's been in the top 5 all day. And then Alex Bowman, who's been just outside the top 5 all day. Boyer beat us off of turn 4 that time. Oh, contact through the dog leg. And Busch made it 3 wide on the entrance to the corners. He's going to not only get around us, but get around Boyer. Knocking off 2 birds with 1 stone, and up to 10th off of turn 2. Andrew, welcome. We're just at the start of stage number 2 already in this one. We got the stage 1 victory, passing Kyle Busch, coming to the white flag. As we were trying to hold on older tires, our right front tire was down to 1% tire wear at the end of the stage and barely made it. Again, the 8 caution laps we had definitely helped us. So if we get caution laps here, we'll probably stay out again, knowing that that worked in stage 1. And we already had caution laps in between the stage breaks here. Although we're not off to nearly as good of a start here in stage 2 as what we were at the start of the race. Trying to side draft Ty Dillon right back. Great move. That was a huge side draft there, turns 1 and 2, pinching him down to the inside and getting back around him. Yep, us, Jones, and Hamlin are in. Again, yeah, we weren't racing for we were racing for the stage win just for the heck of it and to keep the track position for the start of this stage, which we had. We just had a terrible restart. But it was still a pretty thrilling finish. But yeah, Kyle Busch came in above the cut line, the one driver above. Again, he was 30 points above. Plus, he outscored Keselowski and every other playoff driver he was trying to trying to stay ahead of on points by finishing second in the stage. But look out for Martin Truex Jr. He's in 3rd place right now. If Martin Truex Jr. might have a good run in, and maybe he can win and make it to the championship 4 instead of Kyle Busch. Bowman, he's been pretty much 6th, 7th or so all race. Maybe he can get the track position late and have a shot himself. You never know. A championship race will be at 4 o'clock tomorrow, right on the dot, Eastern Standard Time. No matter what. The reason why we started a half hour later today is because I completely forgot the Pro Invitational was today. So I wanted to give you guys a chance to watch the end of that, because I think there was only like 33 to go when 4 o'clock hit. So I wanted to make sure we got to the end of that, of course, before we started this one. But we will start at 4 o'clock for that championship race tomorrow. A little contact with Boyer getting into turn 1, or turn 3 rather. The old turn 1. We are using the steering wheel today for those of you guys that are just joining in. Yeah, it is looking like it's going to be us against 3 JGR drivers. Whether that driver will be Kyle Busch or, Martin Truex Jr., not sure, but about slid up into Daniel Suarez. We almost cut the corner too deep into the wall. Had to kind of move up the track, and we almost got into Suarez too. One of the more difficult racetracks on the circuit, especially with this reconfiguration. Haul around this place. With it only being 1 mile in length, a very tricky racetrack to say the least. Especially with the 750 horsepower package. 3 wide now into turn 1. Boyer, Suarez just to the outside of us, still somehow holding the corner. 3 wide on the exit. I think you got it right. Yeah, it's us, Truex, Bowman, Hamlin, Kyle Busch, Keselowski, Alex Bowman, and no, yeah, we named them. No, we didn't name them all, did we? Yeah, who else? Who else? I'm having a brain fart here. Kevin Harvick. Harvick is the 8th driver. He's been nowhere to be found in the top 10 all day today. Ooh, nice little crossover move on Boyer, and Almirola barely stayed off of him too. Almirola had Boyer cleared as well. We might be able to get Almirola going into 3. Joey Logano has taken the lead for the first time today. Now slide job on the 10. Boyer trying to take advantage of it as well. He moves back across the 10. Almost got us also, but not quite. So we hang on to 8th. Where's Reagan? I'm not entirely sure. I do know he is a lap down because I remember us catching him towards the end of that first stage. I know he's outside the top 20. Wow, look at that huge pack of lap cars up ahead. That's going to get very interesting when we have to get up there because, again, lap traffic on a short track is not fun. And look at him just going 3 wide at the back of that pack. See Bowman, Kyle Busch, and Eric Jones were all 3 wide for position for a minute there. Joey Logano is in the lead, and he has already gotten through all that, so we've got a lot of ground to make up to catch up to our Penske teammate. All right, going to make a pass on Eric Jones for position. William Byron now splitting Ryan Truex side by side with Byron off the exit of the corner. Big side draft. Now he's tucked in behind David Reagan. Oh, contact. Bowman moves Busch 4 wide now through the center of the corner. A little rub on Bowman ourselves, and we're up to 4th just like that. Bowman moved Busch. They went up the track a little bit, just enough for us to squeak in there. Didn't quite make the pass cleanly like I wanted to, but when you're 4 wide at Phoenix, it's kind of hard to go through there without contact. What a move. First time we've seen 4 wide today. Definitely a lot of cars all packed together at once. Hamlin got through that lap traffic pretty well himself as he's trying to run down the 22 again. Deep dive to the inside. Big slide job on Truex. Couldn't get him. Trying to side draft him, and Truex beats us back to the gas. Kyle Busch behind us in 5th also is closing in on our back bumper as we try to get around the 19. So we got a 3-car battle now for 3rd. Down to the apron. Back up onto the racing surface. We have cleared the 19. So taking the shortcut there through the front stretch. Yeah, Hamlin's definitely caught up to Logano slowly but surely. Ooh, almost in the wall off of turn 4. Thank goodness it's a little wide off of turn 4 rather than what it is down in turn 2. How many cars were a lap down? I believe 23 were on the lead lap when we started this stage because Jimmy Johnson got the free pass under the last caution with 22 laps left in the stage. That put him, he was in 22nd. I don't think we lapped that many cars by the end of the stage. So I want to say there's 23 on the lead lap. We haven't led that many laps today. We've had to have led less than 20 laps in this one. Like I said, we led the last 2 laps in stage 1, and we led for maybe about 10 laps at the most in between there before we had lost the lead to Kyle Busch on that last restart. We just don't have the short run speed. Hamlin's just gotten around Logano now for the race lead. Joey's had a rough postseason so far, but he's trying to go out with a bang regardless and try to get a win late in the season. But as they race for the lead, we are catching up. We're about a second off. Ooh, missed turn 1 there. WF Sports Network, welcome. Almost into the wall off of turn 2. That was a very tight exit of the corner. Had to get out of the gas or we would have ended up in the wall. And about slid up into Austin Dillon as well. Again, usually the car gets loose on the longer run at most tracks, but for some reason we are having a problem with it getting super tight on the longer runs here today. That is despite the fact we have a little bit looser of a setup, and despite the fact I don't know what else I was going to say, but should say, yeah, I mean, you just don't see it really getting tight on this game too much. Usually it's tighter in the beginning of the run, and it gets loose, but it's the other way around. It's loose and fast on the short run, despite not necessarily being at its fastest. We're still faster on the longer runs, despite how tight it gets, but boy, it gets narrow off the corners sometimes, especially if you're side by side. So we've been battling Logano for second for a couple laps right now. Not going down without a fight. Got Landon Castle in the way. Gassing it up to the outside of Castle now. Pinching Logano down right behind him, and that'll move us up to second off of turn 2 into 3. So Ryan Blaney in the lead. Full standings after the race? Sure thing. Definitely do that before we go into the championship. Jose Sanchez, welcome. Just noticed that you were in the live chat. About a second behind Denny Hamlin. We've already gapped Logano by a second. We just passed him a couple laps ago. 39 laps in this stage here at Phoenix. It's taken us a while to try and run down Hamlin. We haven't had a caution yet either. This is very interesting. If we don't get a caution, I don't think that right front's going to make it. If we do get a caution, it should make it. Usually wears out about 1% of laps, so. But now we got a caution. There it is. 200 laps to go. Caution is out for the third time today. Third time for incident it is. Oh, we got a lot of drivers hitting pit road. Now we'll stay out of the pits for right now. We'll try something a little different, you know? Why not? We got nothing to lose in this race. Let's try a little bit different pit strategy, even though it's kind of a dumb one, but let's go for broke. Make this interesting. We haven't led many laps in this race today as it is anyway. So we'll take the track position to make sure we can beat Hamlin. It looks like we're going to lead the opening lap of the restart. We're holding them off for now. Look at Alex Bowman in there. Bowman might take it 3 wide into turn 1, looking for the lead on Logano and Hamlin perhaps. And here comes Joey shoving it in there. Joey Logano loose from center off. A huge bump and run by the 22. Hamlin got stacked up back in the middle now. And look at Bowman now, going for the lead. He's up to second. Bowman got loose off of turn 4. Looked like he might have slammed into the side of his teammate of Byron, and William Byron might be going for the win in the stage. Oh! Drilled from behind by Ty Dillon. No, Denny Hamlin. Hamlin goes around. Caution's out. Denny Hamlin drills us going into turn 3. Caution will fly. My goodness. That is going to be our first accident of the day today, but Denny Hamlin practically took himself out there by taking us all the way to the top side. That was really interesting. Yeah, not sure exactly why he did that. Yeah, Denny Hamlin, I don't know what he was thinking there. I thought it was Ty Dillon that drilled us from behind, but it was Denny Hamlin all of a sudden. Green flag back in the air. Somebody just stalled on the restart. Now we're 4 wide. Going into turn 1, we've already wrecked once. It looked like Kurt Busch might have kind of stalled it out because there's a big gap in between him and the next car in front of him on the inside. That's the first accident we've been involved in here today. That is strike 1, but oh, we got more contact up ahead. It looked like Eric Jones and Ty Dillon got some contact in with one another side by side there. Robin's racing here at Phoenix here today. I don't know what Denny Hamlin was thinking. I don't know why he drilled us all of a sudden. It was weird. I don't even really remember making contact with Denny Hamlin at any point in the race either. Hamlin held his position though. It didn't look like he had too much damage. Truex kind of banged into him and then we banged into the back of Truex, but we'll just ride it around here to the end of the stage. No big worry. Again, we're not having to battle for points. We're already locked in. Joey Logano is currently leading in stage number 2. Ooh, 3 wide. Wow, we are loose. Very loose. Into the wall. Oh, back down the track. We get drilled by somebody from behind. I'm not sure who hit us. It looked like everybody had us missed, and then we got hooked into the inside wall. Caution is out again. That's a 3rd consecutive caution here in the last 15 laps. My goodness. For 3 strikes, can you watch me drive around? Well, we'll hope it doesn't get to 3 strikes, but if it does, I guess. Man, we were looking good there for a second, then Hamlin drilled us, and then I don't even know what happened there. I just got loose, and then like right in the center of the dog leg, and then all of a sudden the car, we overcorrected it into the outside wall. Looked like we had it missed, and then we just got drilled from behind. Pretty solid restart though, back in the middle of the pack. Still want to try to go all in and win this race. We're getting to the end of this stage. Business has definitely picked up. We've had 5 cautions in the race already. At least 5 per incident. That's not counting the stage break. And Logano's led a lot here in this stage, seemingly out of nowhere. Would not have thought he would have had a good enough car to win this one, but trying to make a comeback to the end of this stage. It's not impossible, but we got 20 laps to go in stage 2. But we better hope for the best, because we can out-wreck again. Barely clearing Kurt Busch off of turn 4. That was a close one. Sorry, turn 2. No, we're going to catch lap traffic before the end of the stage as well, so it's tough to say for sure. Oh, this is going to go. Contact with the 95. Tried to pull up in front of him, and we almost got in the wall. I don't know how we didn't hit the wall there. But we definitely made some significant contact with Matt DiBenedetto. Nope, definitely can't make 3 mistakes tomorrow. See, that's the thing between today and tomorrow. We're not racing for anything today, so I don't really like... I mean, we're going to obviously go for the win, but we could take some risks we're not racing for anything. Tomorrow, we definitely are going to be conservative. I like running the top side at Homestead, but I don't plan on running the top side until later in the race when I absolutely have to. Try to save the car as much as we can. It's kind of like we did in the Coke 600 earlier in the season. Just because only that was a different circumstance because that was a longer race and we moved up to the top side about the last 50, 60 laps. That's probably what we'll end up doing at Homestead. Oh man, this car is sideways. We were worried about it getting tight earlier and then we had a couple accidents and now it's like it's getting really loose. William Byron to the inside of Logano for the lead. And Kyle Busch is up there trying to win the stage. So is Alex Bowman. And I believe Brad Keselowski. No, that's Denny Hamlin in the white car in the 11. But a big, huge battle up towards the front for the stage win here. It'd be a miracle if we can actually get the stage win ourselves. Trying to get it out and roll for 11th. Just slide it in deep into the corner. A little contact with Daniel Suarez to his left rear. Somehow he stayed stable through the center of the corner, and Kyle Busch is now taking the lead. Denny Hamlin up to second, followed his Joe Gibbs Racing teammate right on in. If Busch wins this stage, he will score 19 stage points. Keselowski has been nowhere to be found in the top 10 most of the day today. That would give Kyle Busch a 59-point buffer. He will lock himself in on points for the final stage. But again, a win will be the only thing to knock Kyle Busch out, as if a guy like Bowman or Truex can get the win. But so far, it's not looking like that could be the case. It's not impossible. We got a little bit of a ways yet to go. Still 13 laps left in stage 2. But that is what the scenario we're looking at as far as the championship implications go. Caution. After the championship mode idea, the only reason I don't plan on doing that is because I definitely want to make sure I get through the Cup and Xfinity Series toughest seasons. And then after we get through the Truck and Xfinity Series toughest seasons, we'll do the stage racing with that too, because that's what I already had in plan. And by that time, NASCAR Heat 5 should be out because we got a little less than 2 months. So that's what I'm thinking. That's what I had planned. Anyway, if we do have extra time, I will take you up on that idea, but I just don't know if we'll exactly have the time. If NASCAR Heat 5 would have been released on its normal date, we would have had an extra 2 months or so, but we're kind of rushing here to get these races in. That's why you've seen a lot of double headers the last couple weeks. But here we go. This restart's going to clump everything back together one more time to the end of the stage. Only 9 laps to go. Restarting in 9th, a very good restart on the inside. We might have a shot to win the stage again. Not impossible, even despite wrecking twice. That would be unbelievable. The tires have kind of evened out at this point in the run, despite them having roughly 30-lap fresher tires. We've had 4 cautions in the last 35 laps. So try to hustle around Logano now for 4th. Now to the inside of Denny Hamlin. We got William Byron, Kyle Busch. Ooh, almost got in the back of Byron. Couldn't quite clear the 11 yet. Down to the apron, through the dog leg. 7 to go. Trying to clear the 11, and we did. Now taking a deep dive to the inside of the 24 of Byron, but Byron kind of hanging in there. How long will it take for us to get around William Byron? Side draft down the backstretch. And into 3. A little tight. Got to clear him. Hamlin now going underneath Byron. He's looking for 3rd. Kyle Busch has just over a half-second lead. 6 to go. The right front tire getting pretty worn out, but it'll make it to the end of the stage. It only burns out about 1% a lap. 2 at the most, but with 6 to go, we're plenty good. Big question is, are we going to be able to get to Kyle Busch? We got 5 to go. We'll be able to get to him. He's going to be tough to pass with the clean air. We're not going to catch lap traffic before the end of this race. And although the tires themselves aren't going to play much of a factor, we are sliding around quite a bit. Speed-wise, we're about the same as into 3 and 4. Wow, we cleared him pretty easily. Will he try a crossover move off of 4? Can't get there. Almost washed up into the wall. 4 to go now as we take the lead at the line again. And somehow, some way, it looks like we might find a way to win stage 2. That last caution definitely helped us. I don't think we would have won the stage without it, but definitely take it. It'll give us the track position onto pit road at the stage break and put 4 fresh tires back on this car and get out and go. Oh, man. Well, I do Heat 4 races when I have Heat 5. Likely not. Unless we are still in the process of trying to finish off the seasons I will have started already for some reason, then yes. But that would be the only way. But yeah, likely, honestly, I probably planned on trading this game in when I go to get Heat 5. Because I plan on getting the physical copy. I usually try to get physical copies. Coming to the white flag this time by. We've got Kyle Busch by just over a second now. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go in stage 2 for Ryan Blaney. It's been a pretty solid run to this point in the race. Again, we have probably led less than 30 laps easily in this race, but we're going to win both stages. Believe it or not. It has not been a clean race, but we better have a clean 3rd stage or we're not going to win it. William Byron surprising in 4th. There's Truex still in 5th. Truex still lingering around. Checkered flag, green-white checkered flag in the air. Ryan Blaney wins stage 2 here at Phoenix. All right. So we're going to make sure we pit here. 4 fresh tires, full tank of fuel, and we'll repair any damage we've got. Wow, Landon Castle comes out with the lead off the pit road. Lone driver to stay out. He probably pitted under that last caution, so Landon Castle controls the pace on the restart. This is going to be interesting into turn 1. He's a lot slower. Kyle Busch sends it. Busch has to stay in front of Alex Bowman. Bowman up to 2nd as we get shuffled out of line when we were 3 wide on the top. That did not work out for us. Restarting on the top side with Castle staying out. Because we did win the race off of pit road. Now Truex to the top. He's going to get around us. Alex Bowman trying to chase Kyle Busch down. 158 laps to go now as we're up to speed at Phoenix in stage 3. Who will make it to the championship 4? We're right on the border of this being a 1-stop race to the finish. It could very well be a 2-stop race, but we'll see. Barely going to clear Daniel Suarez. If I do races with more pit stops, though, I can guarantee it's not going to be full-length races. Because the races are long enough as it is. If we have extra pit stops in there, they're just going to be twice as long. Especially if we have to pit, like, let's say every, like, 15 laps or 30 laps. It's just going to make the race even longer. So they probably shorten the length up to about 50%. Honestly, there's a good chance we might even just test that when we clinch the toughest season championship for the Cup Series. Because, like, we've been looking at, we're probably going to clinch 3 or 4 races early. I planned on running half races just to get the season over with, so we'll probably shorten the fuel window during those races. There's a good chance, so you'll probably see some test races with that, but I don't think you'll see a full season on it. William Byron, Daniel Suarez now trying to get around us again. We struggle right at the start of these stages, whether it was the start of the race, the start of stage 2, or the start here in stage 3. We just did not get the good restarts. We fall so far back. Oh, a little contact with Suarez. Out of the gas we go. Priest gets around. Eric Jones is going to get around, and now Larson trying to get around. We have bounced ourselves all the way back to 12th. There is a big gap behind Larson before Ty Dillon catches us. Man, oh man. It would have to be a 50% race because there is no 75% races on this game. Those, what, I don't know, it's like 7%, I don't know what it is under 7%, but 100. There's no 75% race, so it would have to be 50. Kyle Larson, Eric Jones, Ryan Priest just ahead of us. Priest has been having a solid day. He's been in the back half of the top 10 most of the day, believe it or not. He's having a solid run. Eric Jones is really falling back, but again, at least he's in the championship already. Keep getting to the back of Larson. We just cannot get around him right now. Still got a little ways to go before our car really starts to kick in on a longer run, especially with short track racing today. But we're really going to have to conserve our tires, especially if we do miraculously make it to the end on green or even have few cautions, because the odds of us making it on 2 stops are going to be very, very close. I mean, it's going to be close enough as it is for everybody else fuel-wise, but on making it in a 1-stop. So we're probably looking at a 2-stop race just because our tires wear out a little more, it seems like. Figuring that we could barely make it to the end of a 75-lap stage with cautions. Slide job on Priest. Now a crossover by Ryan Priest as he tries to get back under us for 10th. Kyle Busch has by far led the most laps in this race today, but has not won a stage. He has finished second in both, giving him a 58-point advantage, which is going to lock him in on points because Brad Keselowski can't finish 58 points ahead of him because Keselowski didn't get any stage points. So, and everybody else was already too many points back. I think the next closest was Truex, and he was 55 points back, so that's definitely not going to be possible at this point of the race either, when he got outscored on stage points by Kyle Busch as well. So it's strictly a win for those other 4 drivers outside of Kyle Busch, and if not, Kyle Busch will be in the championship for tomorrow. Remember, Kyle Busch barely squeaked it into the round of 8. He was the last driver to make it in on points. He made it by 13 points and knocked out Clint Boyer. So Kyle Busch is scraped by not 1 round, but maybe even 2 just to get to the championship. And who knows, maybe he's got a shot to win the title again tomorrow. It'd be his 3rd career Cup Series title. It'd be back-to-back, of course, because he won real life last season. In our first Cup Series season on the channel, when we raced the full-length races, normally with cautions and everything, but we did them without the stage over the course of the season. We raced as Matt DiBenedetto, and we got the championship win that year. So we are 1 for 1 in the Cup Series. We'll have a shot to go 2 for 2 with Blaney now tomorrow. That was a good crossover by Eric Jones to get right back around us. Suarez was almost able to follow on through. So we have a nice solid battle for 8th. Can't quite get back around Jones through 1 and 2 that time. But a pretty solid battle for right now. Haven't even alternated through the cameras yet today. We will do that very, very shortly. Once we can get out of this battle with Eric Jones. Has been intense over the last couple laps, as now we passed him again, slid up, and Jones going to try to cross us over a second time. It's going to be tough to beat him on the outside through turns 3 and 4. It's going to leave a lot of bottom open. Jones is still there. Going to beat him into turn 1. Oh, Jones sends it into the corner. Jones moves us up the hill. A little contact right back to now try to slop him back over again. Slide job. Clear. Off of turn 4. Jones can't get us back this time. As long as we hit our marks into turn 1, we'll be okay. That was a great battle for position. So this will be the first time today we'll alternate through the cameras. We'll probably do it another time, any time under 100 to go at some point as well. Drive it in really deep through turns 1 and 2. Got it to stick pretty nicely that time though. About to catch lap traffic for the first time in stage 3 for ourselves right now as well. Quite a ways interval time behind Kyle Busch, about 4.5 seconds with a lot of lap cars in between. So remember, we got to keep it clean. We wrecked twice in stage 2 alone, so and one of the times wasn't our fault at all. We flat out got turned by Denny Hamlin up the track, then Hamlin basically spun himself in the center of the corner, and Truex kind of slammed into him, and we slammed into the back of Truex. So now we get into the back of the 52 of Cody Ware off the exit of turn 2. Yeah, Cody Ware's still in the race. Truex is still in too, because he was in the top 5. I could see his car up ahead as well. The 19. Chase Elliott was the first driver out of the race. I'm not sure who the second driver is that is out. Ooh, that got tight into turn 1. Narrow gap, 3 wide under both Ryan Truex and Bowyer. That pass for was for position on Bowyer. Almost into the side of the 66. Byron all the way on the top. Very tight. We've gone 3 wide a lot here in stage 3 already. And towards the end of stage 2 also almost put it in the wall. Oh man. Lap car's just getting in the way at this point. Man, Tip now is right there, and we'll try to get around him. Landon Castle, remember he restarted in the lead. He's on older tires. He's back to 25th. As we'll get around him as well off of turn 2. And Byron for position. So up to 6th. Oh boy. This car just slides around sometimes. Sometimes it just sticks in the corner all right on the longer runs, and sometimes it just doesn't want to stick at all. Kind of tucked in right behind Logano. Good battle for 5th. William Byron only about a half second back behind us. To the inside of Joey now. And we'll get on by him with a nice little slide job, but here comes Joey back, but we're going to block him off the exit of turn 4. 133 to go. We're back into the top 5 again for the first time since the restart in the final stage of the race. Once again, it's been a few races since we've been to victory lane on this Cup Series season. Back at Kansas was the last race we won. I've got to say, though, if we do win this race, this has to be probably the least amount of laps we've led in a race we have won all season. Because, again, we have led easily less than 30 laps in this race so far today. We've seen different leaders on in front for quite a while, whether it was Kyle Busch, who has led the most up to this point. Hamlin's led a decent amount of laps, and so has Joey Logano at times. Martin Truex Jr. trying to hold on to 4th. Bowman is in 3rd up ahead. Almost made contact with the 19. Really big side draft through the dog leg. And now here comes Truex trying to cross us over. And he's not going to do it. We have him cleared. Truex back to 5th. Bowman about to be back to 4th shortly. Big slide job in the center of the corner. Bowman going to get back under us, trying to cross us over. Bowman holding on for dear life, trying to keep his championship hopes alive. Still early enough in the race. Hamlin, Kyle Busch going at it for the lead, way up ahead as well. 129 to go at the stripe. Side by side for the lead now as they're locked in right behind the lap car of Jimmy Johnson. Hamlin, Busch neck and neck. Could allow us to close the gap a lot sooner. Hamlin gonna slip by to the lead. Busch is still caught behind Jimmy. And Denny Hamlin back out in front again at Phoenix. Qualified on the pole. He's been in the top 5 all day long. Hasn't led too many laps in this race, but has led at various times. He tries to get the win today. Busch shuts the door to the inside. We're all the way down on the apron through 1 and 2. Didn't gain that much time on him. Well, we got a good drive off on the exit, actually, and out of the inside into turn 3. Blaney up to 2nd. Now trying to chase Denny Hamlin. Still haven't quite gone halfway through the tire wear on this run to this point. Hamlin is going to be passed now going into turn 3. Just caught behind Parker Kligerman enough. Blaney back out in front for the first time in stage 3 with 125 to go. First lap we have led all stage. I'm just trying to pull away as much as we can. We haven't had green flag pit stops today because you can make it to the end of the stage on fuel. So the way those first 2 stages went, we never had to pit until the end of the stage. So it'll be interesting to see if we do have to go through green flag pit stops, how it's going to work out. We're going to take this first run as long as we can, of course, just in case a caution comes out. Worst part is we're probably going to be the first driver to pit. Then we got to hope it stays green for us to at least get back on the lead lap, because we'll easily fall a lap down, maybe 2 on the short track at Phoenix. It only being 1 mile in length, so. Very, very long pit road, too, for a 1 mile racetrack. At a slow speed, of course. Not sure what the speed limit is. It's either 35 or 45, but the way it wraps most of the way around the track, it definitely is a long time to get there. It's an easy pit road to get onto, but it's also an easy pit road to speed to get onto, so we definitely got to watch our speed, especially with not really knowing what the speed limit is, because we didn't practice before this race. Kevin Harvick easily running outside the top 10, so is Keselowski. Basically, those two are non-factors in this one today. Harvick in 17th, Keselowski in 16th, and now Keselowski will go lap down also, so their championship hopes are about to be shot here. Outside of Joey Gase. Larson's no longer suspended. I haven't seen anything on that, so unless the news like just broke, I don't know. I know he's planning on returning back to sprint car racing, but I don't know about NASCAR, like what his scenario is there. 3 wide, Kurt Busch, Landon Castle. Got on through. You know what, we'll just alternate through the cameras one final time today. Might as well, just in case we get caution after caution towards the end of this race again. Like we did back in stage 2. So hopefully we can go uninterrupted with this. Got a 5-second lead on Denny Hamlin already. Doesn't feel like we took the lead that long ago. In fact, we didn't. It was less than 10 laps ago. Shows how much of a factor lap traffic is on this game. That is for sure. Barely squeezing there to the outside of Stenhouse, in between him and the wall. We'll send the back of Eric Almirola. He really got slowed up with Michael McDowell in the way. Ty Dillon having a solid run in 12th, a little contact getting into turn 1. Kind of pushed up the track at the same time he was coming down on us, so this wasn't a good combination of things. Couldn't get off of him, but we do get around him fairly quickly, and there are now only 11 drivers on the lead lap. There's Larson in 11th. I believe Daniel Suarez is in 10th up ahead. Larson didn't give us a ton of room there. Let's try to get on by him. Most drivers that have been a lap down to this point in the race, once Suarez goes a lap down here, we'll only have 9 drivers on the lead lap. Definitely our largest lead of the race by far, because up until we took the lead, we led less than 30 laps in this race. So probably our best run of the race so far, especially given the fact that we had a terrible restart to stage number 3. We haven't had a caution yet, so that's helped us out a bit. I think having quite a few cautions in this race, 6 of them total, that it's kind of bunched the field often enough and keep having guys pit that it's not giving us the long run we needed. So this is arguably the, and I believe, the longest green flag run we have had so far today. So we have just hit 51 laps into this green flag run. I don't think we've had a run much longer than 40 laps, and that was the opening run to start this race. I don't even know if we made it to 40 laps, to be completely honest. This has to be the longest run that we have so far had. That we're getting around these lap cars really easily too. Or at least making it look easy. Not the easiest thing in the world, but we are driving this car very, very good. Oh boy. Eric Jones just went a lap down now. You got Clint Boyer up ahead, who's the last driver currently on the lead lap. Bowman not too far behind. Or too far ahead of Boyer, in fact. Ryan Preece, William Byron up there. Joey Logano, he's led laps in this race. And push David Reagan on the straightaway. Not on a short track. That might send him loose getting into the corner on this game, honestly. I don't think that'd be the wisest thing to do. Ooh, got back into the gas a little too soon there. Right back down. Right front down to 20% tire wear, so it's getting pretty worn out. Again, not going to make it quite to the end of the fuel run. And this is where it's going to be interesting, because like we said, or like I said, at the very beginning of this stage, it might be a one pit stop race to the finish for everybody else, but the way we burn our tires out throughout the course of the day, if we stay green somehow all the way through stage 3, it might be a 2 pit stop race for us. I don't think we can win this race if we do that here at Phoenix. I really don't think we're going to be able to do that. We'll take a 4 tire stop this time. If we have to take a second stop, there's a very good chance we're going to take right sides only. Try to conserve as much as we can. Oh, that was a big dive down to the inside. Look at that move. A little loose off of turn number 2, trying to get the car to turn and not get into Byron. And now William Byron will go a lap down. Here's Logano. And then you got Alex Bowman in 5th, not too much further up ahead. Down to the apron. Through the dog leg. Contact with Bowman getting into turn 1. And we'll get on by regardless. Bowman in 5th. First driver 1 lap down. But if we have to hit pit road and then a caution comes out, that's going to shift quite a bit. Be a big shift in the leaderboard. Plus, we'd have to take the wave around just to get the lead lap back. Restart at the rear of the field. We have not had to drive from the rear of the field at all today. Heck, in stage 2, we had to drive from 22nd to the front in the last just less than 30 laps. But at that point in the run, the tires were evened out. We were fast enough. Fresher tires on us. Got 99 to go. And I don't know, to split this stage in half, we needed to make it to at least 81 to go. We are not going to make it to that point, so there's a good chance we're going to have to pit a second time. Like I said, if we have to pit a second time, we're taking right sides only. Try to save as much time as we can. That second stop, we just got in the back of Bubba Wallace. Off the exit of turn 4. 98 to go now. We'll have to have our first green flag stop of the race and our third stop total in this one. Mercury, welcome. Wonder what the car is going to handle like when that right front gets below 20%, because you know it's going to in a couple laps here before we have to pit. Again, we're going to try to stretch this run out as long as we can because we need to, just in case a caution comes out. I can guarantee we're pitting for 4 tires as soon as we get a caution, assuming that that caution doesn't come out after we have to pit. It would trap a lot of guys a lap down too if the caution came out also before we had to pit. A lot of drivers that don't need to be stuck a lap down, like Truex and Bowman. So they're hoping that this is going to play out a little differently. Oh boy, barely kept it off of Jamie McMurray. Checked up slightly. I didn't roll completely out of the gas, but I rolled about 50 to 75% off. I wasn't sure how much that car was going to come down the track when we got loose there, but pretty much held our lane best as we possibly could have. Wow, Kyle Busch is about to go a lap down now. What a run we are having, by far the best run we have had today. We're not going to catch Hamlin before we have to pit though. There's quite a few lap cars ahead of us, and I don't think we have many more laps either. Still got a couple seconds on us as well before we catch him again. We do have one car on pit road already. Looked like Chris Buescher in the 37. Not sure if he had an issue of some sort or if that was a scheduled stop. We'll have to see if we might have more cars coming onto pit road earlier as well. It's not impossible. To the outside of Ty Dillon. Oh, what a move. Beating Dillon to the outside. That was a video game-like move. To the outside of Ty Dillon, cutting to the inside. Hitting our apex perfectly to get to the inside of the 36 of Tift as well. Actually, no, that was Landon Castle on pit road. Landon Castle, remember, stayed out at the start of the stage because he had pit with 9 laps to go. Or the caution with 9 laps to go back in stage 2. .3% left on that right front. Now down to 2%. We're going to take it one more lap because we've only really been burning about 1% a lap. It's a little risky. We have caught back up to Denny Hamlin again though. We're going to pit this time by, and it looks like we're actually going to catch up to Hamlin. We're going to put a lap on the field right before we bring it on to pit road. Nice job. By far the best run we have had so far today, but again, we will pit this time. We've got 90 laps to go here at Phoenix. We're gonna take it easy here into this corner. Got to make sure we don't speed. Not sure what the speed limit is. 45 miles an hour. Easily backed it down in time. 4 fresh tires. Full tank of fuel. We'll repair damage and off we'll go. It has been an interesting one to this point so far. Caution right as we are on pit road. Wow, we couldn't have timed that more perfect. It did give the top 5 their lap back, and Bowman is going to get the free pass in 6th, but we bailed ourselves out big time. Unbelievable. 4 fresh tires. We'll be on our way. That couldn't have worked out much better. We got lucky that caution didn't come out a lap later. We would have been in trouble, but yeah, we'll get to restart in the lead still because we won't have to pit under the caution. Caution is out. That is a big moment there. Martin Truex Jr. back on the lead lap too, so that is a big moment for him. And like I said, big moment for Alex Bowman getting the free pass, but he has to restart at the rear of the field. So here we go. We'll control the pace. Green flag back in the air. Who will win it at Phoenix? We've got 86 to go. Oh man, really bad tire spin going from 3rd to 4th on the restart. Somehow able to still stay in front of the 18, and look at Truex now on the top side. Trying to go the top side around Denny Hamlin. Not sure if that's going to work out for him. Now they're 3 wide for second back behind as they rush to the outside of Kyle Busch. 85 to go as we leg the opening lap up the restart to the line. 18 of Busch. Truex in a must-win scenario to knock Busch out of the play. Move. He is going to clear us. Truex up to second. Now, can you run down the 18? Yeah, I know. Why I said the video game like move. Oh, we missed turn 1. Hamlin going to get on by. Try not to lose as many spots as we have off the last few restarts. Everybody still has to pit one more time to the end of the race. Logano, Byron have been trying to work around us for a while. Joe Gibbs Racing running 1, 2, 3 on the racetrack. You have Penske, and then a Penske and a Hendrick car side by side back behind us. Logano having the edge through the dog leg. Byron trying to side draft it back though, going into 1. They've been side by side for a few laps in a row. Caution is out. Oh no, that's a bad caution. For us at least, we have not been able to make it as far as the leaders because of the tires. And we're looking at roughly having about 78, 77 laps to go when we go green. Caution is out. Free pass will go to Joey Logano. That is going to shake things up quite a bit as well. That is going to be our 8th caution of the race. Kyle Busch should get to the line here, so we should have 77 laps to go when we go green. We're going to have to stay out of the pits and hope for another yellow. That was terrible timing for the caution. Well, here we go. Green flag going to be back in the air. We're on about 5 lap older tires. Not going to make a huge difference, but we'll see. Leading the field to the green flag. Again, who will win at Phoenix? That caution was not good for us, though. I don't know if... We're definitely not going to make it to the end, but if we were to pit, I didn't think we were going to make it either. Would have been a lot closer. Truex in the middle now. Hamlin on the inside, Kyle Busch on the top. Busch getting a run on the top side of the racetrack. Here he comes, side by side, into turn number 1. Big dive down to the bottom. Truex trying to follow him. And now Bowman's in the mix again, and Bowman trying to follow Truex on the outside as well. He's looking for 3rd. Hamlin up the middle. Denny's run's gonna fade. Bowman still stays to the outside. Truex running down the 18. Contact with Bowman. Now into turn 1. Bowman got loose. We're going to slide back in front of him. 3 wide for third. Byron, Eric Jones, Bowman back behind us. Bowman fading back while William Byron is up to fourth. What a move by Byron. Here he comes. He is coming in hot. Later into this run, Truex hanging with the 18 of Kyle Busch. That race is for the final spot as Byron gives us the bumper into turn 3. Up the track we go as we try to block him off. Out of nowhere, he just drives it in deep. And we've got a little damage to the back bumper of the race car now. And Byron moves us again. Jones trying to squeeze under as well. William Byron moves us twice. He's up to third. Jones is the first driver lap down in 8th. Trying to stay ahead of Ryan Preece and Boyer on back. In case we get another yellow, he can get the free pass. 72 to go at Phoenix. Short track racing at its finest here today. Driving it in really deep into turns 3 and 4. Truex is still hanging with that 18 car up in front. We're still in 4th. So again, that pass was not for position when Jones got around us, and we still got a couple more lap cars directly behind us before you go back to Bowman and Hamlin, who would be for position. What a race. Down to the apron now through the dogleg. 70 to go. Just ran our fastest lap of the race, 26.145. That is our fastest lap ever at Phoenix. So we are running as hard as we can right now to try and not fall as far behind, but we are still losing ground to the leaders despite running our fastest time ever on that last lap. Battling back with Eric Jones. Trying to stay in his left rear corner panel and side drafting. Nope, he's going to pull right in front of us, so couldn't quite stay there. Now to the inside into turn 1. Awkward angle. Driving it in deep. Little contact. Trying not to waste any time. That didn't work. Jones still going to stay in front. You can bet we're going to put the bumper to Byron. He hit us twice to get around us. Both times he just flat out just shoved it right into there. It wasn't even like a bump. It was a bang in a run. I don't know if this race is going to go green to the end, but if it does, I don't think we're going to win this race because we are not going to make it on our right front tire. We can try to take care of it as best as we can. But it is just not looking good. It's at 71%. We still got 65 to go. This race is not looking good for us. Everybody else, as far as the pit window goes, maybe they can't make it on field to the end. They're only, well, they're 4 laps to the good, I guess, but you never know. That might necessarily be safe. But the best thing we can hope for is that they all run out of gas at the end of this one. Only falling back to 4th on the restart, but we've fallen a little further back interval-wise. We're 5 to 5.5 seconds off the lead. Usually we fall back about 4 to 4.5 seconds off the lead. Welcome back, Andrew. That's 63 laps to go. Denny Hamlin up to 5th. He's been trying to get around us here for a little bit as well. Pole sitter in this race. Again, he's led some laps. Busch has still led the most laps to this point. And he's starting to gap Truex slowly but surely. But when we get to the lap traffic, can Truex run him back down? They are teammates, but when a spot for the championship is on the line for Truex, don't be surprised if he tries to move the 18. We've seen these other drivers move, not only me, but they have moved other drivers throughout the field here today to make some passes, whether it's in lap traffic or not, on restarts, so be it. Very aggressive battling and racing throughout the course of this one. Definitely a toss-up race, that is for sure. So at this point, because Truex is in second, despite Busch having a huge gap on the bubble with his points, he might need to win this race to get in anyway. Only because the guy in second place would knock him out. .59 laps left. Only about a second and a half behind Byron now. Kind of gapped Hamlin now behind us. Only a second behind Byron. He's getting through the lap car is nice, just not as quickly as we are. And Truex is slowly catching Kyle Busch once again. He is well within a second of the lead. About 6-7 car lengths back from the 18. Yeah, that right front's not going to make it to the end for us. We'll take this run as long as possible and hope for a caution. It's about all we can hope for. Busch gap in the 19 once again. We have caught up to William Byron, 55 to go. He moved us twice to get into third. Oh, got to run to the outside. We beat him back to the gas a little too early, and we had to get out of the throttle. So Byron gaps us again. He is there. We are closing in. Byron looking to the inside of Matt Tifft. Up the hill, a little tag, Byron's loose. Oh, how did we stick that corner? 3 wide. In between Reddick and Byron, we're going to pull right back in front of him. What a drive to get up to third. Just less than 4 seconds off the lead and just under 2 seconds back of second place Truex. Truex about 2 seconds back of Kyle Busch. We try to run him down, but again, we're going to have to pit, and will everybody else be able to make it on field to the end? A possible field mileage race here today at Phoenix. That timing of the last caution was very interesting. I know we're not going to make it, but man, we are going to try. Playoff battles between Kyle Busch and Martin Truex Jr. with Kyle Busch as the bubble driver on the inside and Truex on the outside looking in. A win would put Truex in over Kyle Busch. But if Kyle Busch wins, obviously he'd get in. But not only that, Busch has enough points. If he doesn't win this race, as long as none of the other 4 playoff drivers of Truex, Keselowski, Harvick, or Bowman win, then Busch would also get in. And we're going to clear the 19 per second. Truex fading back. 50 to go. I'll tell you guys what, if this is going to be the championship battle tomorrow, this is going to be a lot more intense for my sake. This is crazy enough as it is, but thank goodness we're not having to race. Although we didn't win either of the last 2 races, thank goodness we've got enough points to get in. We're good. Even if we do have to pit and we finish like outside the top 10 easily, it wouldn't matter. Out of the outside of Bubba Wallace. Once we get around him, there will be no more lap cars in between the 18 and the 12. Just under a 1.5 lead into turn 3 that time. Who will get the win? Very close to the 2-hour mark in this race. Again, this race is just flying by, much like the race earlier today. This one even quicker though. What a pace we have run, despite the fact that we have had a decent amount of cautions. 8 of them total. As we run down the 18. 46 to go. Another lap or 2 and we'll probably get to them. Then we gotta hope for the best. Big run into turn 3 for the lead. Blaney to the inside. Gonna slide up in front of the 18 of Kyle Busch. Ryan Blaney back out in front for the first time during this run. 45 to go at Phoenix. Now, can the rest of the field make it on fuel? If they can, we're going to need a caution. Our tires will not last to the finish. So now we just got to gap them as much as we possibly can for when we hit pit road. We'll make a 2-tire stop to make the stop as quick as possible, but not looking that great. Only be fitting, despite the 8 cautions, that we would go the last 77 laps under green here at Phoenix. Be the longest green flag run of the race. If we go all the way from that point to the end. It's becoming a reality the closer we get to the finish. You also gotta kind of think the sooner we would pit to take those right side tires, the faster we'll be when we come out having 2 fresher tires than everybody else. Hamlin's just moved up to 4th past William Byron now. 3 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas right behind us. But we got about a 3-second gap back to 2nd place Kyle Busch. Ooh, boy, he cut that corner a little too sharp. A little contact. We're okay. Besides those couple of incidences towards the end of stage 2, and there's the caution. 40 laps to go. Caution is out. It's not over yet. We will have 36 laps to go when we go green. We're going to pit for right sides. We'll repair damage. We'll just fill the tank up with fuel just in case. And here we go. Stay out for fun. No, honestly, that right front will not make it to the end. There is no way. Unless we get like caution after caution to the end of this race. That's the only way the right side is going to make it. We'll take right sides only, though. Alright. Eric Jones will get the free pass back in 8th. We'll restart in 7th on the inside. Playoff implications on the line. Will this be the final restart of the race? The green flag is back in the air again at Phoenix. 36 to go. Great restart already down to the inside. Taking it deep into turns 1 and 2. 3 wide down to the bottom. Clearing the 18. Trying to get them all at once. Couldn't do it. Now Hamlin slides back to the inside. Busch has the clean air out in front of the field. Oh, a little contact at the back of the 18. Keeping the wheels moving forward. 35 laps to go. Still to the outside of Hamlin for second into turn 1. Side draft off of Hamlin. Back to the top. We should clear him getting into 3. We did. Now to the inside of the 18. Big slide job to the lead. What a move. Blaney out in front. 34 to go. Been a few races since being in victory lane, trying to get the momentum going into Homestead tomorrow night. Now we just got to stay green to the finish. And if a caution comes out and they decide to pit, we're probably going to be screwed. We probably won't win this race, so we got to hope for the best. Almost in the wall off of turn 4, pushing this car hard. Trying to get away, which we should do easily. But now can Bowman or Truex try to get themselves in position? And maybe a caution comes out, you see some guys pit, and some guys stay out, and the guys that try to stay out are going to be guys like Truex and Bowman. That would be crazy. $32 to go. Caution comes out, you can bank on us staying out regardless if they pit or not. So now we've had 9 cautions today. 3 of them in the final stage. We had 2 back in stage 1 and 4 in stage 2. All 4 of them in stage 2 were in the last 30 laps too. Truex back up to 5th. $30 to go. Oh man, we just about hit the wall. Everybody from 5th to 8th are in must-win scenarios. With the first of those drivers being in 5th place right now, Martin Truex Jr. Keselowski, Harvick, they've been a lap down for a while and non-factors all day. Outside the top 10. In fact, I think they might be 2 laps down at this point, so their chances are pretty much done. Bowman and Truex are the only 2 that are still in the top 10 and on the lead lap. Bowman behind Truex, of course. Not sure exactly what position he's in now, but he's probably not too far behind Truex. Yeah, they're going to need a caution and some crazy pit strategy to get back into this. It wouldn't be impossible. $27 to go. Again, for those of you watching, if you have enjoyed, hit the subscribe button down below if you're not already subscribed. Hit the like button if you're enjoying the race commentary, the video in general. We have daily NASCAR content on the channel. Big part of the channel, of course, is the full race live streams with the live realistic commentary, such as the race you are seeing here today. Up to this point, 26 laps to go. Our next full race live stream is going to be tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll go to the toughest season in NASCAR video game history. We've got the Southern 500 coming up. That should be a good one. And then tomorrow afternoon, 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, we will finish the championship season up here for this regular Cup Series season. Trying to get the title with Ryan Blaney. Again, into the championship tomorrow. 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Hopefully you guys join. That should be an epic one. So we're less than, I should say less than 30 laps away from deciding who will be that fourth driver in the championship. As of right now, it's looking like it's going to be Kyle Busch, unless Martin Truex Jr. can get up and win. Truex in a must-win scenario. Hamlin's already locked in. Busch is the last guy in on points right now, and Eric Jones and I are already locked in. Also on points, Jones with the win at Texas. Hamlin won the race at Martinsville. Epic Bane, welcome. And thanks for 10 people watching here right at the end of the race. By no means have we led the most laps in this race. Probably by race end, we probably would have led less than 70 to 80 laps in this race, even if we lead all the way to the finish. But somehow we've won both stages and now looking to win the race late. Oh, we're pushing up the track off of turn 4. We're good though. 22 to go. Again, we locked ourselves in on points. It'd be nice to get a win regardless, give us more momentum into the championship race tomorrow at Homestead. Be a well-deserving win, though, regardless of the fact of how many laps we led. We're not led in this race. $21 to go. Laps winding down, 1 mile per lap here around Phoenix. Nicholas, welcome. Glad you can make it for the finish of this one. 20 to go. Could you imagine if somehow lap car wrecked right in front of us and that would be our third strike of the race? take us out and then the door really opens up for Truex. That would be crazy. Oh, into the inside wall there. It drove it in a little deep there into turn 3. Not sure how I did that, but and keep it straight. 19 to go. Yeah, the only thing that could hurt us obviously is a caution. If a caution comes out, I think we can hold our own. If we could just get through turns 1 and 2, we'll be okay. And then from that point on, it's just a matter of running good lap times again. But if a caution comes out and we have guys pitting behind us, that's going to shake the strategy up because we're committed to staying out to the end of this one. There's Harvick in 19th. Again, he's been a non-factor all day. That is surprising for Harvick, especially at Phoenix. This is arguably his best track on the circuit. He's won here more times than anybody else in NASCAR history, and somehow, some way, he has been outside the top 15 all day. Obviously, he was in a must-win scenario coming in. He's not going to get it done. $16 to go. Again, we've had 9 cautions today. It wouldn't necessarily be the most surprising thing in the world if we got another one. We're getting late enough into this race, though. If a caution did come out, we probably wouldn't catch lap traffic again by the end of this one. So we would have to bank on everybody staying out of the pits, or we're definitely not going to be able to hold on to win it. 15 to go. And left run at 37%. It should easily make it to the end. Obviously, a flatter track, you're going to burn that right front up a lot more. We took right side tires under the last caution. Everybody else stayed out. That caution came out with 40 to go. We went green with 36 to go. It took us 2 or 3 laps before we got to the lead, but got it done. But every lap since, man, we got loose, so almost ended up on pit road. And really loose off of turn number 2. Yeah. That does seem to be the trend. Whenever I say something, it seems like it happens within 10 laps anyway. I mean, hey, it would make things a lot more interesting for you guys watching. And I wouldn't be sweating bullets as much, only because we're already locked into the championship. I wouldn't want it to happen with this many laps left. I want it to happen more. I think we can hold them off for 2-3 laps, but I don't see us holding them off for more than 5 laps for sure. There's no way. And even 5 laps is a stretch. Seems like on the restarts we're only able to lead for a lap or 2 before we lose the lead. But you can guarantee that it would be the craziest restart of the race. Kind of got in the back of Eric Jones. Jones couldn't get going. He'll go a lap down again, so now only 7 drivers back on the lead lap. 12 people watching. Again, thanks. Not quite going to get to our record. Maybe we'll save that for the championship tomorrow. Our personal stream record on the channel is 14 people watching at once. We are getting closer to the end of the race, but I don't know if we'll get there today. We'll see. Big gap on Hamlin, 9 to go. Once again, the Truck Series toughest season is going to start Monday night. We're looking right now at about 8:15 Eastern Standard Time. That's what we're looking at. And obviously, season opener at Daytona should be a good one. 100 laps, no cautions. Oh, almost got into Larson off of turn 4, 8 to go. Barely had him cleared. Yep, we'll check the full season standings so you guys can see where all your favorite drivers rank after this one. Long run speed, proving the difference maker once again. Now Bowman goes a lap down. Even if we get a caution, he'd have to restart at the rear of the field, so his chances would be done if he goes a lap down here this late in the race, as far as trying to make it to the championship, and that would just leave Truex on a late race restart. Oh no! Oh wow, and Buescher goes around, caution's out. Oh my goodness. Into the wall, Buescher kind of clipped us, and Buescher goes around down the back straightaway off of turn 2. My goodness. Just when you think things are over. We got really tight, ended up in the wall, and then Busher tried to miss us, kind of sideswiped us, and he could not make the save. But it doesn't look like anybody's going to hit pit road. Eric Jones will get the free pass. Are we counting that as strike 3? Down in the chat, are we counting that as strike 3? It was close. Busher was the one that went around. I kind of saved it, but I did hit the wall on the inside. We don't have heavy damage. I really want to win this thing, but I'll leave it up to the chat to decide. We'll go for the win here. Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch battling back right now behind us. Coming to 3 to go. 2 to go, rather. Restarted with 3 to go, so 2 laps left at the line. Truex is back in 4th. I don't know if he's going to be able to get around Hamlin and Kyle Busch. Busch is up to 2nd all by himself now. Truex is side by side with Denny Hamlin for 3rd. Yeah, that was definitely close. I don't know if it was a 3-strike rule or not. That was yeah, I'm not sure. So no. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go. It's kind of a question mark to the end of this one. At least this didn't really have much meaning for us, and it doesn't look like Truex is going to get back around the 18 of Kyle Busch anyway. I don't think he's going to get there. So whether we won or not, it's not going to make a difference on how the championship 4 is going to go, so at least that didn't matter. But off of turn 4 regardless, Ryan Blaney's going to get the win at Phoenix here today. Checkered flag in the air. And there we go. Getting the win, first time in a few races. And that'll give us momentum heading into the championship race tomorrow afternoon. It'll be the one Penske driver of Ryan Blaney taking on 3 Joe Gibbs Racing drivers in the championship 4 of Eric Jones, Denny Hamlin, and Kyle Busch. Yeah, let's take a look at the replay at the end of the race there. Before we really roll into things. Oh, dang it. Take a look at that replay of the crash at the end of the race. Got to switch back to the regular. Alright, had to switch to my controller there for a second. Alright, so we'll check out that caution right at the end of the race there. Happened with 7 laps to go. Alright, so that was coming to the restart. These were the caution laps. Alright, so Busher is up ahead of us. Alright. Yeah, this was it. So off of turn 4, change the camera angle here. So we hit the wall. Definitely. Busher tried to get out of the way. I mean, there was nowhere for Busher to go. He got into the back of us. We hit the inside wall. But that was really the only, like, it was tough to call if that was going to be strike 3 or not, because we didn't hit the wall that hard on the inside, and Busher definitely took the biggest hit. Busher ended up into the wall. Up ahead. Busher tried to make the save. I mean, yeah, we did a good job saving it as much as we could. It could have been a lot worse. Yeah, if I spun, then yes. All right. So I'm glad we can come to an agreement. We don't have a lot of angry people at the end of this one that I didn't actually wreck and bring out the caution for my third strike. So we got the win. We won both stages in the race. Kyle Busch second. Martin Truex Jr. just missing out on the championship four. He finished third. Denny Hamlin fourth. A lot of Gibbs cars in the top five. Alex Bowman fifth. William Byron sixth. Joey Logano seventh. Eric Jones eighth. Daniel Suarez ninth, and Ryan Preece 10th. So again, 8 drivers finished on the lead lap. 2 hours and 14 minutes is the total time on the race here today. I'll take a look at the DNFs here in this one. Not many, only 3. BJ McLeod, Austin Dillon, and Chase Elliott very early in the race were the 3 DNFs. None of them were playoff drivers. Your 4 drivers that were eliminated in this round, Harvick, Bowman, Keselowski, and Truex were all eliminated. Busch had a big points gap again. It was basically down to him and Truex at the end. Truex was in contention to win. He ended up finishing third. Really, when that last caution came out, that was his best shot to get the win. But yeah, that would be... That's going to be it for that. So again, nevertheless, got the win. Hamlin with the fastest lap, 25.971. We did lead the most laps. I did not think we led that many laps in the race today. 128 out of 312 we led. Suarez started at the rear in 39th. He finished 9th, so he had a fast car. Despite finishing 2 laps down. Tough break, of course, went to Chase Elliott. DNF'd within 40 laps into the race despite qualifying in the top 10. The strikes, I'd give myself a 3-strike system because this game doesn't have DNFs. At least for like the user driver. So I give myself 3 strikes. Now NASCAR Heat 5, they're supposed to be DNFs, so we won't have to have this rule that's kind of like, you know, did I actually wreck or not? You know, there will be actual DNFs if I crash in NASCAR Heat 5, so we won't have to worry about that come a couple months. But yeah, that is going to be it. Take a look at the full season standings as you guys wanted to see here. See what the full standings look like. Switch to the points again. That's where we're at. Top 16 obviously was everybody that made the playoffs. So your championship 4 again: Ryan Blaney, Eric Jones, Kyle Busch, and Denny Hamlin. And we'll take a scroll down, see where your guys' favorite drivers ended up. Still 1 race to go, obviously, but can't really shift a lot in points unless there's some tight points battles further back in the pack. Causing an accident? No, that's for getting involved in an accident. Whether it's me physically spinning by myself, making contact with anything. I could spin and save it and it wouldn't count, but if we hit anything, usually it counts. But I mean, I barely hit the left side of the wall and I kept the car straight, so I think the main caution was for Buescher there at the end because he took a nosedive right into the outside wall. But yep, that is your full leaderboard again. Doubleheader tomorrow. Last doubleheader for the week, of course. Toughest season NASCAR video game history. Next full race live stream tomorrow at 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll go 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for the championship race at Homestead for this Cup Series season. Hope to see you guys then. Tell your friends, tell your family. Channel's growing very rapidly. I appreciate the support as always that you guys give me. I can't say enough about it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Hit the like button also if you enjoyed today's race commentary video in general. And yeah, hit the bell notification if you guys do wish to subscribe so you never miss an upload. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching.